All right. So I think we're currently on. Gary,
Yeah.
I just want to go ahead and thank you,
All right.
for taking time out of your day and to reach out to us. How have you been? We haven't talked, I think, about over a month now, and we have
Yeah.
a few of our viewers that have been asking for you. We got M Star Media and Mad Max that definitely want an update on you, and they want to know how you're doing. And we also have Lifestyles Chronicles that currently been waiting, to hear from you. So, how you been? Anything new? How
Um,
you been?
I, I've been good, man. I've been good. Just taking it one day at a time. Still pushing strong. I mean, everything's going good. The family's good. All my support network's still there. Everything's great, man. I just, just been attending my classes. Working. And just doing my thing, man. Everything's good, bro. No complaints on my end. I'm doing real good.
That's right. And then
Man.
Marlene just came in. She said, "Hey Gary." And then Mad Max 48. He says,
Yeah.
Saludo Gary. Hope all is well with you, brother." And M Star Media también
Yeah.
she put saludos Gary.
I send my highs and hellos to everyone out there, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, well, what kind of, hey, I'm still pushing strong, brother. You know what I mean? Still going to my classes, still going to my groups, still reading my Bible. You know what I mean? Still doing the right thing. You know, and I'm not, I think last time we talked, was board stuff and all that, and you know what I mean. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep pushing strong. I'm gonna keep my head above water, keep doing my thing because I know, one day I'm gonna be out, and I look forward to that day.
That's right. I like that. I like that positive attitude. And do you know when you're gonna be going back
Yeah.
to the board yet? I know you recently went, but what is it? Was it 11 months or 12 months you gotta wait before you go back in front of the board again?
Um, they denied me. It's a 3-year denial, right? But if I continued on this path, 16 to 18 months. So I estimated around April of 25, I'll be going.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, around April of 25, I'll be going back. You know.
Oh man,
Hello.
that's sorry about that. I
Okay.
normally when you start
Yeah.
talking, I'll put it on mute and I'll forget to unmute it
Okay.
there for
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah. So the plan is, what I mean. I'm not going to deviate from this plan. You know what I mean. This is my life now, so there's no deviation. There's no, there's no taking no side roads. There's no taking no off ramps. I'm going to continue. One foot in front of the other. Keep pushing straight ahead, bro. And God willing, come in 25. The gates will be open, and I'll be stepping foot out that gate. I'll be going home. So I'm gonna continue. As a matter of fact, I should be transferring out in a couple of months. I'm gonna be going to a lower level. So that's a plus. I'm gonna go drop to a level 2 now, so a little more freedom. A little more leg room, so to speak. So I'm looking forward to that. I never thought in my whole prison existence, my whole prison term, that I will be going down to a lower level as such as a level 2. So I'm happy about that. I'm very proud of myself for that accomplishment.
Man, have you ever been on a level 2 yard before? Do you know what to expect there?
Never. Never. I mean, I've been asking a lot of questions. I've been asking a lot of questions from a lot of guys who've been there, who've experienced it, and they're like, man, Gary, like it's gonna be wild, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? It's like they're like, there's gonna be a lot of more temptation there. There's gonna be a lot of more BS, but I'm just like, look, bro, I've already been on a couple of yards, and I have not involved myself in any BS, any temptation. So like, I'll be all right. Doesn't matter where I go, no matter where I land, I'll be okay, man. As long as I surround myself with a good core group of people and keep doing what I'm doing, I'll be good. I'll be good. You know?
That's right. That's right, and that's what it's all about. The ultimate goal is for you to come home and show all of us and show yourself that you could come out and be a productive member of society and get on with your life. Obviously you've been gone for a very long time, but it's never
Yeah.
too late. You still got life. You're still breathing, and you still have time to show everybody that you've learned from your mistakes and you've grown from them, and
No,
what
absolutely. Right. it's exciting too. Like I'm looking forward to it, bro, because like it's like I'm getting out to a world, right, that I haven't been a part of in many years, right? And I gotta find myself. I gotta find my identity. I gotta find, what I'm into. What do I like? What kind of car do I want? Do I want a car? Do I want a truck? What kind of people do I want to surround myself with? Because last time I was out there, like it was just gang banging and criminal activity and getting high. You know what I mean? Certain way of dress, certain way hanging around with certain people. So now that I put that behind me, now that I don't no longer participate in none of that. I don't consider myself a gang member no more. I don't go by my moniker. All that criminal stuff, all the drug stuff. It's like that ain't me no more. So like I gotta go out there and I gotta find Gary. Like what is Gary like? What kind of dress, what kind of clothes am I gonna wear? What kind of style am I gonna pick up? So I'm excited. It's excited. I'm looking forward to it. And see what happens, man. Because I know, man, physically, mentally, and emotionally that I'm ready to go out there, and I know I will succeed out there. I know that. I know that. So I'm just looking forward to it, waiting patiently, and man, God willing, because like right now too, I'm in the court system. I know I petitioned to be for a resentencing under LA County, what the DA Gascon is doing. So I'm hoping that comes sooner than the board. And I got court dates next year coming up in February, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been in the courts for like over a year now. It's just been postponement after another. So I'm looking forward to that I get some type of leniency, some type of sentence reduction. So because I was sentenced as a juvenile. I committed my crime as a juvenile. I was tried as an adult, and I was sentenced like that. So what the DA is doing out of LA, he's no longer trying juveniles as an adult. He's no longer handing down these heavy-handed sentences. So I'm looking forward to that next year coming up. That he would just, say, give me some type of leniency. Because this is the only thing that I ever been charged and convicted of. My rap sheet, my criminal record doesn't extend no further than this. Yeah, I committed my share of crimes and did a lot of BS. But this is the only thing. So
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I'm kind of hoping that they see it, the judge sees it, and they just allow me some leniency. You know what I mean? They reduce my sentence, or they take me down and try me in juvenile court. You know what I mean? Which I should have been tried in juvenile court in the first place. So I'm hoping that it happens, and if that does, and man, I'll be walking out even sooner than I thought.
Hey, Gary, let me ask you something, because right now the chat is blowing up
Yeah.
right now. And let me put a scenario
Yeah.
for you here and tell me how you would handle this. Okay,
Absolutely.
so you come home,
Absolutely.
you're fresh out, you've been out for an hour, all right, and
Yeah.
or no, you know what?
That's
Not
pretty
even
cool.
maybe you're still in the holding cell and you're waiting, to get released, and then the officer comes, they give you your clothing that you're gonna be
Dress
changing
out?
your dress
Yeah.
outs, yeah, all right, and they give you
Yeah.
some pink skinny jeans. What do you do?
I gotta wear those to get out. I'm rocking them. I'm rocking them. That's the God's honest truth. I'm rocking them. I'm rocking them. Now, if I gotta wear those to get out, I'm rocking them. Straight up. That's the God's honest truth. I'm rocking them. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Marlene says, don't worry. She said that
Yeah.
her boys, they got you. She says that the kids got some style, so they're definitely gonna take care of you
Yeah.
when you walk out those gates. But and then she also said, she says, hey,
Yeah.
no 90s. You're not gonna be wearing no Frisco Benz size 50s.
Yeah, yeah. All those big baggy clothes, and it looks like you're drowning in them. Yeah, that's what I was wearing back then. I was in that style, solid colors, Ben Davis, Dickies, all that stuff, and it was like I don't know, 3 times bigger than my size, So I gotta find, what do I like? What am I gonna be comfortable in? Because I'm definitely not going. I know there's a lot of throwbacks. There's a lot of stuff coming back from the '90s, and that's not one thing I'm gonna bring back. I'm cool with that.
Marlene said, no Ben Davis, laughing out loud.
No, none of that. No Nike Cortezes. No, none of that. No, that's I'm cool with that.
Oh man, hey, you know what?
You know,
It's good. It's definitely good to hear your voice, man. Like you're always in a good mood. So and you're easy to talk to. So
Absolutely.
I definitely been slipping, not sending any messages to you to get you back on. But yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man,
No,
definitely need to get on the other fellas on the line and see where they're at, make sure everything
hey,
that's good.
no, I've been hearing a lot of good things you've been doing on the program, man, and having a lot of guys. I know a lot of those guys, man, and for you to have them on, man, it's great, bro. You know what I mean? I'll be talking to them, like when we're in the day room or on the yard, we'll be hanging out. You know what I mean? Just chilling, just shooting the shit. Shooting the breeze, man, and I'll be talking to them, man, and be encouraging them, like, yeah, do it, bro. Go on there. You know what I mean? Tell your story, man. You know what I mean? Let everybody know. You know what I mean? How it is. Let them know that. We're human beings as well. Yes, we committed a crime. You know what I mean? Yes, but we were sentenced for that crime, and we're getting right with the house again, man. You know what I mean? We're doing our sentence. So yeah, I'll be talking to all those guys, and they'll be keeping me updated on what's going on. It makes me happy, man. It really makes me happy to see what's happening.
Yeah, yeah, luckily, I've been fortunate, and you guys, have really, sent over a good group of guys over my way with some really, powerful stories, and
Yeah.
I think they'll be very beneficial to the community or anybody that's at risk, to listen to these
No,
stories
absolutely.
and help them steer away from that way if they're going down that way, or at least give them a heads up of what they're signing up for before they fully commit themselves, because once you're in there,
Yeah.
it's easy to get into prison, but it's hard to get out.
It's hard to get out, bro. You know what I mean? It's hard to get out. You know what I mean? It's like, man, we cannot allow like one bad choice to define us. You know what I mean? We can't, because we all make mistakes, bro. We all make decisions and choices that we regret. You know what I mean? It's just a natural fact. We do that. You know what I mean? But we just can't not let that define us further and just continue and say, fuck it. I already made one, fuck it. What's another? What's another? What's another? Like, nah, bro, like, nah, that's not the way to live, man. You made a mistake, correct it and move on. There's more to life than gangs, the streets, prison. Like, this is not life. Like, this has no substance. You know what I mean? Even though a lot of us are raised to believe that. You know what I mean? We're so trapped in that box that we believe like this is life. Like, this is normal. Nah, bro. Nah, you know what I mean? This ain't normal. This is not life. You know what I mean? Nah, like, there is so much beautiful things in this world. You know what I mean? And I encourage everybody, man, to explore that route. Go that route. See what's that all about. You know what I mean? The streets is, man. I mean, growing up, I didn't have a lot of people, speaking positive things to me. You know what I mean? It was just like the normal way of things. We just did things because that's the way we seen our parents do it, our older siblings, our family members, and we just continued down that path. But I mean, I know it may sound cliche, but I mean, we got to break the cycle. I mean, it's absolutely true. We have to break the cycle. You know what I mean? Even if it's just with us, or what I mean,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
we have to do it, bro. I mean, we have to break that motherfucking cycle. Because I don't want to see nobody in here. I don't want to see nobody else to be coming through these doors, bro. It's like, no, like, what I mean? No, like, why should we keep prisons in business? Why should we, as a community, keep this brick and mortar going? What I mean? Nah, man. Nah, we got to do better. And if we become better as a community, as a people, as a generation, man, we could do great things, bro. We can do amazing things. That's all we
Abs-
got to do. And
Absolutely. So I know right now we're down to about 10 seconds
yeah,
before it cuts us
yeah,
off. If you want to go ahead and give me
oh,
give me a call, so we could go ahead and
absolutely,
keep this conversation going. Thank you.
Ab- absolutely, bro, absolutely.
And I want to go ahead and thank you guys. You guys, keeping the chat going, and it's definitely gonna help us get recognized and pushed out into the YouTube algorithm, which means possibly getting into more people's ears, or so I appreciate you guys coming in day after day, after every day that I run these streams. This channel wouldn't be going nowhere without you guys. So yeah, these gentlemen could share their stories, and yeah, I could keep on putting out content. But if nobody's listening, then it's not gonna go anywhere. But what you guys are doing right there in the chat, it shows YouTube, the YouTube algorithm, that it is something that you guys are interested in, and definitely gonna push it out.
This is Global Tel Link. You
This
have a
call is now
prepaid
being
call
recorded.
from
Gary.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Hopefully, it's not tripping.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Gary. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, cool. We could hear you now. And
All right,
you know,
all right,
and
all right, cool.
I want to
Yeah.
share something with you right now. So today, you know, I was driving.
Yeah.
I jumped on the freeway and I was driving, and kind of was reflecting on my life, and
Absolutely.
you know, thinking about why is that I made the choices that I did when I was younger, and you know why other people chose to go down different paths. As far as myself,
Yeah.
you know, I did have a mom, and I do have a mom, and I did have a dad. Um, but my mom, you know, she spent a lot of time, you know, most of her time working, keeping either a roof over our head or some food on the table. So, I was left unsupervised, you know, for a lot of my day and whatnot. So, you know,
Yeah.
which took me to the street, and the you know, and my friends and my homies that that I ran on the street with, you know, we were all pretty much in the same boat. We didn't have any guidance, you know, we didn't have anybody telling us like, hey, you guys should go play sports, or hey, and you know, and some people, more power to them if they didn't need that type of guidance, you know, when they were young. But in the neighborhood that I grew up,
Yeah.
you know, it's either you were on the streets, you know, either gang banging, uh, tagging, or you didn't come out at all
Yeah.
because your parents didn't let you come out. And you know,
Absolutely.
unfortunately for me, you know, I chose to be out in the streets. You know, I never gangbanged or anything like that, but you know
Yeah.
that wouldn't have prevented me from getting hurt, or getting
No.
incarcerated, or ending up dead. But like, so the whole point of like the comment I'm making, um
Yeah.
I wasn't guided, and none of my friends were guided. So, all the stuff that we did, we came up on our own, by seeing the things in the environment that we were in. So, I'm just glad, now, reflecting on this, like 20, over 20 years later, I'm glad that I stopped getting incarcerated. I stopped getting arrested, and I didn't end up going to, I didn't make that.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I didn't make that life
Absolutely.
dedication,
Yeah.
to go to prison, to go that extra mile, looking at where everybody's at now. Because I got a lot of my friends, they went down that route, and they say, like, man, this is not even, it's for the birds, nobody should be,
Exactly.
we're not made to be
Nobody.
incarcerated.
Nobody. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. And absolutely not. And sometimes, hey, you're absolutely right, bro. Especially back then in the 90s and early 2000s, right? It was like they were sending everybody to prison. Doesn't matter what you did. Everybody was coming to prison. You know what I mean? Everybody was coming to prison. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how we look upon it now, and how society as a whole that like that was the right thing. Lock them up. You know what I mean? Somebody commits a bad decision once, and right away they're deeming them. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Lock them up forever. Give them a latent sentence. You know what I mean? And it's just like nah, bro. Like that. I don't think that was the thing to do. You know what I mean? How are you? You know what I mean? It's like I often wonder, right? When I came in here, like, I was ignorant to prison lifestyle, right? Like, I wasn't your fucking biggest, baddest gangster out there in the streets. I wasn't doing major things. You know what I mean? And I was just a little kid running the streets like everybody else does, right? But once I came to prison, it's like this environment, like, made me a better criminal. You know what I mean? Made me a better gang member. You know what I mean? It conditioned me, it built me up to be this individual that I know that I wouldn't have been if I would have been out there in the streets, not amongst this dangerous environment. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially going to the shoe. Like I talked about going to the shoe, right? you're just surrounded by a bunch of fucking killers and fucking high class, high profile criminals, right? And you're all in the same pod in the same building for year after year after year after year. And all you guys do is talk. All you guys do is share. You learn from one another. You know what I mean? You adopt, you know what I mean, different beliefs, different styles, different ways of doing things. You adopt them as your own and you refine them and make them yours. You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, sending all these young kids to prison, it's not the answer, bro. You know what I mean? It's not the answer. You know? Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Um,
Yeah.
and how do you think?
Hey.
Right now that you brought up Gascon. What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think? When these kids are committing these crimes right now, how what do you think will be a good avenue? To get them on the right path, or how should it be handled? Should the courts handle it, or do you have any ideas, or do you guys talk about this? How criminal justice for kids should be handled?
We never really talked about that in our groups. We never really talked about criminal justice system for juveniles. You know what I mean? We never really talked about it. You know what I mean? But there's one thing that I do believe in, right? Like, don't give this person a lengthy sentence because he stole a car or he committed a robbery or he stole something out of a clothing store or a jewelry store. Like, nah, like don't do that. You know what I mean? Yes, of course, they have to learn consequences. That's the main thing, right? You got to learn consequences to your actions so you don't repeat them again. So I think there should be some type of form of consequences to their action. You know, whether it be community service, whether it be paying back, working to pay back what they stole, but there has to be consequences. You know what I mean? That I do believe in. You know what I mean? As far as like sending people to YA, no, absolutely not. YA, I thank God I never went to YA because the stories that I hear about YA, it's just like damn, like I thank you God for not sending me there. You know what I mean? Because it was even worse than YA. You know what I mean? So I don't send kids to YA. You know what I mean? Just close that down. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Send them to camps. Send them to camps where it teaches them. You know what I mean? Discipline. You know what I mean? It teaches them some type of form of discipline. You know what I mean? Or some type of form of responsibility, not only for their lives, but for other people's lives around them. I think camps is a good thing, way to go. Whether it be fire camp, whether it be boot camp, some type of form of that way. But leaving the kids in Los Padrinos or Central or even Silmar, like no. Like I was there. You know what I mean? I was there. The way the staff ran it, it was just like it was built to fight. It was just built to gangbang. No, so I think things like that in that form have to change. You know what I mean? Not only that, right? But we got to go back and look at their household, their neighborhood, their upbringing, their parents. Like, where are their parents at? You know what I mean? Because I believe everything starts in the home, right? Like, are the parents working? Maybe we can get these kids in some type of after-school program, and maybe we can assist the parents where they need help, where they can enroll their kids in some type of after-school program. You know what I mean? Education-wise, sports-wise, or whatnot. You know what I mean? So we got to look at that. You know what I mean? We got to, instead of spending all these billions of dollars into an outdated system, which is prison, like, nah, bro. Like, let's start with our communities. Let's start with our schools. Let's start with everything in our neighborhoods and build it up. Let's pour more money into that. You know what I mean? Let's pour more money, you know what I mean, where the kids can get a good education, right? They have after-school programs. They have somewhere to go that's safe, that's not polluted with all these warped beliefs and all this destructive lifestyle. No. So that's what I believe in. Those are just my personal beliefs. But as far as us guys in here, we never really got into debate about that. You know what I mean? Yes, one or two questions asked, but you know what? I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna start that conversation with the guys. I'm gonna see what they think about it. See how they would handle it. You know what I mean? If they were in D.A. Gascon's shoes, you know, because back in the 90s, right? Like, what was that gun law? Somebody gets caught with the guns, automatic 10 years. And what was it? Like 5 years for every bullet. Like, here you are, you got this kid, 14 years old, 15 years old, packing a gun. He gets caught. You're going to send him away for 20 years, 25 years? No. I don't think that's the answer. I just don't think that's the answer. The kid joyriding, you send him to YA for 4 to 5 years. Like, no, I don't think that's the answer. Don't do that. How is he gonna learn? It's like, okay, well, they try to say like, okay, well, he's going to prison, he'll learn. No, especially if prison or that environment is not teaching them accountability, responsibility, consequences. Because let's face it, back then when I first came into prison, even now, it's changing. I thank God for that. It's changing gradually, but the atmosphere in prison hasn't fully changed where it's full rehabilitation, it's full accountability, responsibility, consequences. No. And right now it's there in place, but it's not a cultural thing. You know what I mean? You have to, you got to be willing to do it yourself. You know what I mean? It's the environment in here is still a hostile environment. It's still a gang mentality environment. You know what I mean? So I think all those factors have to come into play, especially for our youth. You know what I mean? Because our youth, when I was young, I was looking up to all my brothers, my older cousins, running the streets, going in and out of prison. You know what I mean? And them coming out with the same mentality, the same type of fucking behavior. And, it was like, okay, it was just a thing to do. So a lot of us that are coming out, like a lot of lifers, a lot of us are giving back, and I encourage them to continue to do so because I plan to do that myself, is getting out and giving back to the youth, getting involved, and trying to turn the tide, bro, because, we need to turn the tide with this, man. Just continue to go down this path, especially with our youth. It's like, nah, man, no, that's not a great thing. It's not a thing that we should all just normalize and say, it is what it is. That's the way they're always going to be. Hell no. I refuse to believe that.
And I want to touch on something that you mentioned a few moments ago about going to YA and whatnot, and that's why when I was a juvenile, I refrained from involving myself in certain type of activities just because I wasn't gonna cut YA, so I wasn't gonna be committing those type of crimes that would get me sent to YA, whether it was like joyriding, G rides, or carrying weapons around, because that was a good way to get yourself sentenced to YA, and like I said, I wasn't cut out for I don't even think I could have handled YA right now in my 40s. So I mean, let alone when I was 15 years old. So
well, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. I mean, I much respect for a lot of people who went through that and they made it on the other side okay. I got a few family members who've been through that, and I got much respect, man. For them to come out and to create a good life, to create a life for themselves, get married, have kids, and and that's my primo who's doing it, who's married to my prima, and he's living a great life, man. He's doing great things. Raised 2 kids, graduated, now they're fucking living good lives of their own, and I know he's not the only one. I'm pretty sure there's thousands of other people out there who went to YA and done that, and just much respect, man, for you guys coming out of that environment, and creating a good life for yourself, man. Much respect, bro. Much respect.
Yeah. So I want to read off a comment right here that one of our viewers is that he just put up. Let me just find it. Where is it? Somewhere around here. So let me see. I'm sorry, Gary. Here it is. It just
no,
the chat.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We're definitely getting a lot of activity from the chat, and what I'm gonna do before the end of the day, I'm gonna take a screenshot of all these messages that everybody's putting in here that are supporting you or have good comments for you. So like that, you could see with your eyes, like the support that you do have from our viewers. That's what I've been doing recently.
That's pretty cool.
For anybody that's coming in.
That's pretty cool.
In our lives. I've been taking screenshots so you guys could see, like the people that are listening to our chats and whatnot.
Right on.
But the message that I want to read off to you was written by Lifestyle Chronicles, and he puts we need more parks. We need more parks and sports programs from city money. I coach, and I personally see the difference being a mentor 100%.
No, absolutely. And I agree with them on that part. We need to start pouring more money back into our cities, back into our communities. We can't just, we can't make, I get it. Public safety, it's something that we all need, right? Because you need laws, you need rules, society needs that. But it's like, don't solely focus on the justice system and the prison system as like your only one.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Like you're only one. No, no. That there's so many other things we can do, bro. You know what I mean? There's so many other things. That whole mentality, lock them up. Nah, I could tell you right now that don't work. It never worked. It never worked, and it will never work. You know, it just doesn't work. You know, I believe that we gotta give back more to our communities. We gotta invest more in them. You know, we have to invest more. We gotta invest more into the people in our community, man. You know what I mean? We just have to. You know, but you know, it's unfortunate though. You know, it's unfortunate as one of the greatest democracies in the world that I mean, we have this problem here. You know what I mean? We have this fucking pandemic of young people growing up in these poor neighborhoods, and what I mean, it's like the only thing that they have to come out is either sports, or you're gonna be a rapper, or you're gonna.
All right, so the call was cut off. I wanted to tell him that he was short. I'm trying to integrate like a audio prompt system where I could kind of hit a button over here on. I got like this. I don't know if I don't think it would be a soundboard, but it would be like some type of audio interface that I got right here, and it has three dedicated buttons where I could program it to make an audible sound. And right before I got into the call with Gary, I was trying to test it out because I could play it and you guys could hear it, but like that or this, but Gary can't hear it. I was testing the phone line with my wife, so I could kind of let them know like, hey, if you hear this sound, we got like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then you could just go ahead and call me back. But I still haven't figured it out.
This call is now
This
being
is
recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Gary.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello. All right, back. All right. Hey, so like I was saying, bro, you know what I mean? Yeah, we need that. You know what I mean? But everybody needs to take a part. You know what I mean? All us as adults, we all need to play a part in this. You know what I mean? It just can't be a handful of people. It just can't be a certain group or a certain set of people. No, we all have to play a part in this. You know what I mean? We all have to. You know what I mean? And I believe a lot of it starts too with people in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? People out there, you know what I mean, doing things that are affecting people in a negative way. You know what I mean? I think we all need to step up. You know what I mean? And you can't do something, right? You can't get famous on something, and you're putting this, so-called freedom of speech out there. You know, I'm just, doing my, freedom of speech, and but it's affecting people in a negative way. And then after you get rich and get famous on it, and then you want to come back 10, 15 later, and you want to change the narrative. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, think beforehand. You know what I mean? Think beforehand. Think before you put that out there. You know, because a lot of kids, they're very impressionable. They look up to adults, they look up to people in position. They look up to people, in that type of world. So we have to be better as a society as a whole, not just individuals, but everybody as a whole, especially in California.
Yeah, no, yeah. And you were definitely
Yeah.
you said something earlier on that not everybody is gonna be, or people are trying to become rappers or basketball players or athletes and whatnot. And let's be quite honest,
Yeah.
a very small fraction. It's like winning the lottery. Um,
Exactly.
the only difference is that
Exactly, bro.
with you might know like a person or two, that from high school that actually that were able to make it to those levels, but that it seems more obtainable
No, absolutely.
than continuing education. But it's funny now because
Hey.
a lot of people now, or I think the youth and whatnot, they're focused on like social media, Instagram and TikTok and things of that nature, because
Exactly.
it makes it really easy for them to to blow up and have influence and get sponsorships like that. So
Exactly.
I was talking, I think I was mentioning it to my wife not too long ago, like our society in the next 20 years, it's gonna it's gonna have a rude awakening, when we don't have people going, getting education to become teachers, doctors, or judges and police officers, or even pilots. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be interesting in 20 years, or where we're at. I don't think all this automated stuff they're talking about is gonna come about, because they've been talking about it for years, and I just don't see it happening.
No, absolutely. No, definitely. A lot of careers are going to suffer, and definitely there's a lot of careers suffering now because a lot of people just ain't interested in going to those fields. I mean, it's only going to get worse. I mean, it's only going to get worse. And social media, yeah, that's going to have a lot to blame for that. You know what I mean? Everybody, I mean? It's like back in the day, but everybody wanted their 15 minutes of fame, and I mean, a lot of people, not a lot of people were getting that 15 minutes of fame, but social media made it very easy for everyone to get that 15 minutes of fame. It's just, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and then I get it too, because I've been young, and
Yeah.
at some point in my life, I did want that, that street fame, um, but
Absolutely. We all did.
yeah,
Uh,
you want to be recognized by your peers, or you want other people from other places, to recognize your name or your placazo, or just just to hear about you. It's funny, because
of course.
when I talk to, like sometimes I run into people that I haven't seen like in 10, 15 years, 20 years, and then they'll start, telling me of the stuff I'll do, and I'm like, man, man, I can't believe I used to do that stuff, man, that's how
Yeah.
embarrassing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But we thought it was the thing to do back then. We were young. We just thought it was the thing to do, man. You know, we just thought it was the thing to do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you do you got anything like you've seen recently in prison that you'd like to share with us? Either like if it's like something like a nice gesture, like of a interaction with inmates or prisoners, that kind of like left you like thinking like, man, wow, like we're in prison, but like this person's kind. Because normally, the most of the stories we get are like they normally have to do with like violence or smuggling drugs or getting cell phones or things of that nature. Is there anything, do you have any stories that would involve anything like that you normally wouldn't see in prison that kind of like touched you?
Well, we did have a graduation for prison fellowship about 2 weeks ago, man, and a lot of bigwigs were there, wardens, captains, lieutenants. You know what I mean? A lot of people part of the administration were there, and it's not every day. It's not every day you can, what I mean, socialize, so to speak, with those type of, what I mean, bigwigs. And man, that was something I experienced about 2 weeks ago on a Monday. When we graduated prison fellowship. You know what I mean? And
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
it's a Christian-based self-help group dealing with what I mean, how to be a better father, criminal thinking, responsible thinking, consequences, anger management, and all that. We graduated that. I mean, we went out there for like 3 hours. We had a cap and gowns. What I mean, they walked up. We got our certificate, and we had pizza and all that other good food, cheesecake and cokes afterwards. So everybody was there. We took pictures. That was something great. That doesn't happen every day in prison. That was, man. Hey.
And I thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with us, because
Yeah.
I think we're so used to. I mean, and I love, and I'm not gonna sit there and act like I don't like it, but yeah, like I listen to other YouTube channels and whatnot, and yeah, I love hearing those stories, those war stories.
Yeah.
They do keep me entertained. They're very entertaining. I will tell you that much. But if you really sit back and think about them, there's actual people that they've gotten hurt or lost their lives, or over frivolous. A lot of these things are frivolous. Like stuff that you wouldn't escalate to that level on the street. In prison, it will escalate. So it's just a constant
No,
reminder,
absolutely.
for
Well, just last night, right?
uh,
Just last night, I was on the phone with Marlene, my cousin Marlene, and we were talking, and this one guy who's in my NA, man. What I mean, he's been struggling, and I just talked to him on Tuesday at one of our meetings or one of our groups, and what I mean, he wants to quit. He wants to get change his life around, but it's hard. His addiction got to him right now. So, just last night, man, he OD'd. You know what I mean? The officers were at his house trying to get him to his house, and he OD'd right there. I could see straight from my cell where I was at, and you know what I mean? They took him out on the stretcher, and you know what I mean? I said a little prayer for him, like, man, I just talked to this dude, you know what I mean, just a couple of days ago on Tuesday about his addiction, and here he is, ODing, you know what I mean? And I just said a little prayer for him. My cousin, we said a prayer for him, and thank God, you know what I mean? He's okay. You know what I mean? He came back this morning. They had him overnight in the hospital, but he's okay. You know what I mean? It's things like that, man, that really break my heart, man, to see the power of addiction. You know what I mean? Just to have the grips on somebody. You know what I mean? He wants to change. We just talked about this. He's like, man, I don't know how. You know what I mean? So I just shared my experience with him, how I did it, how I was able to, just take it one day at a time and to just say no, no, not today. You know what I mean? And for him to see that happen to him, it was heartbreaking. I saw him this morning when he came back, and I was like, what's up, bro? You okay? He was like, yeah, I'm all right, Gary. I'm good. I said, man, I was like, look, bro, like, just know, man, you need to talk. I'm here, bro. Like, you got something on your mind, something's bugging you, you know what I mean? You got an urge, you got a craving, just holler at me, bro. Like, I'm right here. He was like, all right, I appreciate that. But, it's things like that, bro, that really, break my heart, man, because, as a...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I know the power of that, man, and it's nothing nice, and it's just it's sad, it's very sad.
You know what? And I'm glad, when I was younger, uh, um,
Yeah.
my core group of friends that I hung around with, we never got involved, into any type of drug usage. We did have friends that hung around with us that did, indulge and whatnot, and
Yeah.
certain people would break off into those groups, but the core group of our friends never got involved and not involved in that. And I'm glad, I never, got tempted, by peer pressure when they were doing it. Most of the times, when people were doing drugs around me, I would typically choose to leave because I didn't want to be around that stuff. But the way I looked at it was like this, and it's kind of dumb, what I'm about to say, but it's like
Yeah.
for me, like when it comes to like cookies and milk, man, I love cookies and milk. You put some cookies and milk in front of me, I'm not gonna stop. I can't
Yeah.
stop. I'm gonna eat the whole bag. All right. So I figure like if
Hold up. What cookies? What are we talking about? Oreos, chocolate chip?
oh man, we're
What are we
talking
talking
about we're
about?
talking about both Oreo and chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
But so I looked at it like this: if I have no self control with cookies, I'm not gonna have no self control with drugs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna blow the whole sack on me. Then I have to go cluck everything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was gonna be
Yeah.
bad all the way around.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. It's like me, right? Like, I have to be careful because, like, I've learned a long time ago that I have an addictive personality. You know what I mean? If I try something and I like it, I'm gonna want more and more and more. So I gotta stay on me, like, it's like all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, like, I gotta be careful. Oh, just try it. Try something new. Like, oh, hold up, I gotta be careful. You know, because if I like it, you know what I mean? Just like I don't play cards. You know what I mean? I don't know how to play Texas Hold'em. I don't know how to do none of that. Everybody plays cards in here. Everybody gambles. Like, I don't know how to play, and I don't want to learn how to play because I already know me. You know what I mean? I have a lot of people tell me, don't trip, I'll teach you. Like, nope, I'm good. And because I know if I learn how to play this Texas Hold'em, or I know how to fucking play these type of card games, I might like it, and next thing you know, there I am, addicted to it, stuck on the fucking card table 24/7. Nope. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful, bro. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And is there anything that you wanna want to touch on since you do have the mic right now? Anything maybe that you've been thinking about, in the last month that we haven't spoken, and just to throw this out here. I mean, the mic is yours, and you're more than welcome to speak about anything that you think that's gonna benefit anybody listening to this conversation and this channel.
First off, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, for listening, for supporting us. You know what I mean? Because I've been hearing it from the guys all the time. Oh, yeah, man, such and such, chimed in, and, everybody's chiming in, listening, asking me questions. So I just want to thank everybody for supporting us, for logging in, for asking us questions, man, for showing us that, because it touches me and it touches the rest of the guys out here, and I see it, when they talk about it, how their face lights up, and you know what I mean, just their facial expressions. So thank you for that, for everybody for listening, you know. And I just want to say, you know what, man, like, talk to your kids, man. You know what I mean? Have those important conversations. To parents out there, you know what I mean, who are struggling, who are, you know what I mean, having trouble with the kids, even their adult kids. Doesn't matter how old they are, talk to them, man. Have these important conversations for them. You know what I mean? Ask how they're doing. You know what I mean? Show them that you're there for them, that you're supportive. You know what I mean? That, you know, no matter what, you know what I mean? No matter what they do in their life, no matter what decisions, choices they make, that you're going to be there for them, and you're going to, you know, guide them out of it. You're going to help them out of it, help them through it. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, and that's basically it, man. You know, I mean, we're doing our best. You know what I mean? I know that. You know what I mean? As individuals, as human beings, you know. But I just encourage you guys, man. No matter how hard it may seem, no matter how difficult it may be, you know, just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing, and things are going to get better, man. You know what I mean? Things are going to get better. You know what I mean? And that's for sure. Things are going to get better. Let's encourage everybody, man. Just, you know, keep your head up. You know what I mean? Keep pushing, man. Just one day at a time, man. One day at a time. And, you know what I mean? You know, just keep, you know what I mean? Whatever your higher power is, whatever, you know what I mean? You know, your God may be, you know, just keep your eye on that. Stay connected. You know what I mean? Pray. You know what I mean? Meditate on it. And you know, great things are going to happen, man. You know what I mean? Because life is hard. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact. Life is hard. You know, at times it can be, you know what I mean, like, man, it's weighing you down, man, but just don't know, man. Just you know, just keep
You have 60 seconds remaining.
on doing the right thing, and you know what I mean, and great things are gonna happen, bro. You know what I mean? Great things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like that karma we put out there. You do good, good things are gonna happen to you.
And Gary, I know they're about to she just rung
Yeah,
the bell, the 60-second
absolutely.
mark. If you want to go ahead and give us a call back,
Absolutely.
and I definitely want to read some of these comments
Yeah.
here. I'm going through the comments, and I want to go ahead and
All
read
right.
them off to you.
Yeah, I'll call you back.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going through these messages right now. I'm seeing a lot of comments, so I'm gonna go ahead and read some of those messages off to him. And like I said earlier on, I am gonna take screenshots of the whole conversation here, and I'll go ahead and send it to him via the Getting Out app, and so like that he could see for himself, you know, with his own eyes, you know, all the interaction and conversations that, or the comments that are being dropped into the chat. All right, let me see, and I gotta double check and see where is it that I'm gonna start off from. Let me see where. Okay, the first message I'm gonna read off is gonna be from M Star Media. So as soon as this call connects, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and read them off. And I've been having this thought I've been wanting to do. I just haven't got around to it. I'm gonna make a video on how to help anybody that wants to expunge their criminal record, their adult criminal record. You know, how to fill out the forms, and how to, you know, go down to your local court and, you know, fill those paperwork out. And also another one that I want to do.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call
This call is
from
now being recorded.
Gary.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Gary.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna read off some of these comments off to you that our listeners have been dropping on here for you know, for you, or agreeing with you, or what their thought on what the conversation is about right now. But before I do that, I just want to mention to you, this will probably be our last phone call right now, because I have some pending chores around the house that I gotta do before my wife comes home.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to end up.
Yeah,
in
you
a
gotta do
doghouse.
those, bro.
Yeah, I gotta put in. I gotta put in that work. I gotta go bust that holly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you gotta do it, bro. You gotta do it. You don't want to make a man.
So okay, so the first comment I'm gonna read off to you is gonna be from M Star Media, and she put, addiction breaks my heart because I know it goes deeper than the substance.
No, absolutely. That's true. That's true. That's real talk right there. It goes real deeper.
And then we have another comment from Lifestyle Chronicles, and And he puts that's a clear example that addiction even survives behind the walls in a heavy way. Sad truth.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Addiction, like, it has no borders, it has no boundaries. Addiction defines everything, bro. It defines walls. It'll find its way in, and it's sad, but it's the truth, bro. It's the truth.
And then we got another message from Mad Max 408, and he puts that's awesome, Gary. Having someone to talk to saved me from relapsing many times.
No, yep. No, that's straight because that relapse is real, bro. You know what I mean? It's just like relapse is like only one bad choice away, bro. You know what I mean? Like me, I still get those thoughts now and then. You know what I mean? They still arrive, they still pop out of my head, and right away I reach out to my support network, somebody I can talk to, bro, and you know what I mean? And I start to understand, like, where is this thought coming from? How am I feeling? What's going on in my life right now that made me think this? So I start to, you know what I mean, break it down, bro, look for the source. Like, why did I think of this? What's going on in my life? It's just like, you know what I mean, the comment earlier, it's deeper than that. There's much more deeper than that. Addiction it's deep, bro. You know what I mean? Because I know once I started to deal with my emotions, like all that anger and resentment and frustration, you know what I mean, and hate, and this not being forgiving, just being unforgiving, just angry all the time. Once I started to deal with that, once I started to heal from that, it's like me saying no to that.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It got easier. It strengthened me in my walk. It strengthened me in my recovery and my change and my faith. You know what I mean? Just one day at a time, So, it runs deep, man. Addiction is deep.
Mm. Yeah, it does. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep on with these messages because we do. They've been dropping all kinds of messages right now. Let me see. And this is not even. I don't even think this is a quarter of the messages I'm gonna be going through because there's way more. It's just right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm gonna send them on over to you so you can definitely read everybody's messages.
All right.
And then let me see what else we had.
Yeah.
And then how you were speaking about gambling. M-Star Media put.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad was a terrible gambler, literally and figuratively.
See, I mean, man, there's so many things that we overlook that we just say, oh, I mean, it's part of everyday life. But those are things that can affect us, bro. That affect us in a negative way.
And let me ask you, if somebody ODs, are they any consequences for them, or do they just get thrown back in and it's like a
not anymore. Before back in the day, they would write you up, hit your house, take privileges for you, but now the state is looking as on ODing as a sickness, it's your addiction. So that you don't no longer get penalized. They don't penalize you no more. They help you out. They try to enroll you into substance abuse programs and all that. So that whole landscape with that has changed in prison, and I think it's for the better because somebody's clearly having mental and emotional problems because they're using drugs. And if they OD, and for you to come and just pile more upon them with that, they're not going to stop using. They're going to continue using. They're just going to be more sly and slicker about it. So not anymore. Now when you OD, they take you to the hospital. They give you the treatment you need. They bring you back. They allow you to stay without getting into trouble. And I think that's a great thing, bro. I think that's a great thing. Don't penalize. Help.
And that gentleman that OD last night, do you know if they used Narcan to revive him?
Yeah, they did. They used Narcan. They had that on there. They used it. Yep.
So Narcan, it's huge, in prison.
It's a lifesaver.
Yeah, lifesaver to bring all these gentlemen back from. And
absolutely.
And do you know how it transpired? Was he in his cell, or was he out in the open? Do you know any?
Well, he was in the cell.
So he
was in the cell, single cell. He had no cellie. He was in the cell. He's just fortunate that the officers found him when they did, because it could have turned out to be a whole lot worse. There's nobody in there to help him, to yell man down, to assist him in that. So he's real fortunate. He's real fortunate.
And how rare is it for individuals in there not not to have a celly and to be single celled? Like right there in your block, is it where you're at? Is it a unit or a block or what? How is it referred to?
It's a it's a building.
Oh,
They
building.
refer to it as building, building one, building two, so on and so forth. All right.
And in that building, how many people do you think would be single celled?
I'm single cell myself. My family moved out a couple of months ago, so I'm single cell myself. There's plenty of us single cell, you know. There's plenty of us, But I mean, that's the risk you take. If somebody comes off the bus, they can put them in your cell, put them in the next cell, or they encourage you. They encourage you to find a cell, somebody you're compatible with, so that way you guys can be comfortable and no problems, Because I've had this conversation with the officers many times, like, there's you're not going to just throw somebody's in there with me that's not compatible. You can't say because, you guys are the same age, and no. If he's not on my walk doing what I'm doing, then we're not compatible. But you to say, well, he's Mexican, he's of your same age, and this and that, well, that doesn't make us compatible, Because, there's a lot of guys who are still, let's be honest, are still messing up, who's still involved in that BS, I don't surround myself with it when I walk out the cell door, and I don't plan or I don't choose to surround myself inside the cell. You know what I mean? Like absolutely not.
Yeah, and you know
Well,
what? And you did bring a valid point. You did bring a valid point. It's like how are they gonna put it?
Yeah.
They're gonna put anybody in your cell, whether like
Yeah.
you don't know what this person is about. They might be addicted to some substances, or you guys are just not gonna be
Yeah.
compatible. So yeah, I never thought about that.
Exactly.
Like yeah, like you should be able, you should have some type of input and decision. Who's gonna end up in your cell, because you never know who what kind of thoughts what they're bringing bringing with them, and then if your cell gets hit, then you're both responsible, right? Unless somebody speaks up and says,
Exactly. E- Exactly. Exactly. So those are the things that is that you don't know this person's background. The only one who knows this person's background is the officer and that individual. You can't look him up in the computer. You can't dissect his history or what he's going through, what he's doing, what he's been. Only the officer is able to do that. So for them to just throw them in your cell and say, "Oh, you guys are compatible," like, wait a minute, no, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Right. I've seen a lot of instances where they try to done that, and See, nowadays, like you got the right to speak up on that, whereas before in the past, like you did it. It's like you got who you got, and that was it. But things are changing. Gradually they're changing. They're changing. Especially what Gavin Newsom is doing. Governor Gavin Newsom is doing with San Quentin. He's trying to create this whole rehabilitative environment. He's trying to change the whole atmosphere in prison, and I applaud him for that. I think that's a great thing he's doing. Especially for a lot of people in my shoes who are trying to better themselves, who are trying to do the right thing, who are on this path of change, and who want to go home. To surround us, to surround us with people who are still with the BS, who still don't give a fuck because they got a date, they're going home, and they say, you know what, I don't want to change, I don't have to change. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. It saves us the headache, the trouble, the stress, all that, the anxiety, because all that comes with it.
And right now, what would you say the percentage of people right there in that yard? How many of those people are on the same path as you?
It's a small community. On this yard, it's a small community.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's a small community. I wish it was bigger. I pray that it grows, but it's a small community. There's a lot of guys who show up to group. They do participate. They show up, but they're still straddling the fence. They still got one foot on the other side, and they want to put that other foot on the other side. But it's just right now they're still worried, or they put a lot of stock in about what other people think about them, what other people say about them. You know what I mean? And they have to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. Who gives a crap what other people think or what other people are going to say? You know what I mean? What matters is what you want, what you think of yourself, where you want to go. And how you're going to get there. That's what matters. But unfortunate, there's still a lot of people who, what I mean, who put so much stock about what other people are gonna think about them, what are they gonna say, and it's just like, nah. So unfortunate. That's just the way it is on this yard right now. But I'm going to keep on doing my thing. I'm going to keep embracing everybody, acknowledging everybody. Hey, what's up, bro? It's good to see you again. And I do that all the time. I try to put myself out there, available, welcoming to everybody, and just be like, what's up, bro? How you guys doing? And you got to plant the seeds, right? I mean, you got to plant the seeds, and hopefully one day, whether it be now or in the distant future, they say, you know what, man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be in this predicament or this position or this situation anymore. And so that's all I can hope for, man. That's all I can pray for.
All right, Gary. So I know we're getting kind of short right now. I think we have about 3 minutes
Absolutely.
before our
Absolutely.
phone call gets cut off. Is there any parting words that you want to share with our audience right now? We got about 9 people, listening to our conversation. And before
Yeah.
I do that, Marlene actually put a comment in here, and she says that's tough if you're clean off drugs, and your celly is still on that bullshit. That's a lot of temptation right there. So yeah, you definitely don't want
No,
somebody.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, definitely. No, I just thought it's Christmas. Christmas time's gonna. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, man. A Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Spend it with your loved ones, with your kids. Take your kids to go see Santa Claus, man. I don't know if there's a lot of go to your local mall, go see Santa Claus, take some pictures with Santa Claus, man. Just Merry Christmas to everybody, man. I wish everybody much love, much respect, the best. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, man. Just thank you for everything. You too, bro. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas, brother. Yeah,
You as well, Gary. Really, really appreciate that.
yeah,
You tapping in with us.
absolutely.
Giving us an update. So we all know that you're still on the right path, and you're still gonna
Still
continue that
pushing,
road.
brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Still pushing.
you're more than
God
welcome.
willing.
Anytime
Yeah.
you wanna come on, just drop me a message, or if you have an idea, or if we get off this phone call right now, like, man, you think about something that you wanna touch on,
Yeah, we could talk about.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, something we could talk about. Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless you, bro. Take care and stay up, bro.
All right, all right. Thank you, Gary. Go ahead and
All right,
enjoy
gang.
the rest of your day over there.
You too. Yeah, it's football. It's Sunday. It's football, man. I'm gonna go watch you a football game right now. Probably the Dallas game, man. It's football. Can't go wrong with football Sunday. All right, my brother.
All right, then. Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right.
Stay up.
You too.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you, Lifestyle Chronicles. Is that for me or for Gary? Really appreciate it. If it's for Gary, I'll go ahead and shoot it on over right now. Um, and I'm not sure if you guys saw my post, but I do have some other interviews coming up. Um, I have some other interviews coming up at 4 o'clock. I have an interview with David and Jesse. So hopefully we'll be able to be on for at least like an hour or or two, and then later on in the evening we're also gonna have Ricky Black is gonna be coming on. So hopefully you guys are available, to get on and listen to these conversations. And a few weeks back, it's probably been longer than that. Ricky had provided me with a picture, so I went ahead and added that to the thumbnail. I know some of you have asked, to see. You guys want to see like the faces behind behind these voices. So he was able to get a picture and and send that over to me. And then I had a little bit of free time last night, and I went ahead and made that thumbnail and added that up. Anyhow, hopefully we have Javi. I just saw that message from Marlene, so hopefully we have Javier come back on. I'm gonna double check with him tonight if maybe we could do something tomorrow night. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream now. And Lifestyles Chronicle never got back to me on that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot this over to Gary, and make his Christmas, just a little bit better. All right, you guys go ahead and oh, what the wood? Oh man, Livestock Chronicles is like Santa Claus today. Thank you, really, really appreciate it. All right, so 20 for me, 20 for Gary. All right, then cool. That'll work. I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and send them a message right now. See you guys in a bit if you guys come back. All right.